Welcome back on the show as we bring in our next guest, and that is going to be Conor Nicholl. He's with Sunflower Sports Solutions and just knows a little bit about, well, I want to say a little bit. He knows a lot about, it seems like everything throughout the state and keeps abreast of everything that's going on. Hey, Conor, appreciate you coming back on the show. I guess, the month of January and now getting into February treating you?
Good. Things are going well. At this point, with midseason tournaments, particularly with the small schools in full throttle, you've got a lot of interesting teams going on right now. And I wanted to pinpoint a lot of small school storylines, some about individual teams or players, and some just some broad strokes. First of all, 2A boys. I said this in the summer. WaKeeney-Trego, a team to watch out for. And then in football, they have that great climb, the huge turnaround. They go 10-1. They finish number 3 in the final rankings. And then in basketball, they were a 9-win team last year. Nolan Smith takes over the program. Nolan Smith, a great WaKeeney player, super energetic, a really interesting guy to talk to. Just has tremendous positivity, and they have gone 9-3 this year. So again, 9-win team last year total to 9-3 this year. They have one senior who's getting it done on both ends, a very good leader, and then they've got the standout freshman who obviously was all state in football, Bladen Crawford. Bladen Crawford is just an exceptional player. Dropped 30 against Phillipsburg, 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, two steals. He is as good of a freshman as there is in Kansas. Went to a major kind of camp showcase in Kansas City last summer. 400 plus kids there, and he was named top 10 kid. Asen Walt, 14 points a game as a junior. The Mejia kid as their lone senior, Julian. He's been a great leader. They should play in the MCL championship game on Saturday. A really neat story of a team turning things around, not only in the fall, but also here in basketball. And of course, a freshman being a huge part of that. From a broad strokes perspective, wanted to also touch on 1A2 boys. I mentioned Trego has 3 losses. One of them is to Victoria. Victoria boys. Last year, they win the CPL title. This year, under coach Devin Ryan, this, of course, would be Emily Ryan's brother. He's done a nice job. Victoria's a top 5 team in 1A2. They only have 3 losses to a really good Quinter team, to St. John, and then to Devin Ryan's brother, Michael Ryan, obviously at Central Plains. Victoria only has 6 on the varsity, but they are a true player in 1A2 with 4 to 5 seniors and a great sophomore in Nick Sander, who has played against Bladen Crawford growing up. So kind of a lot of symmetry there. 2 teams out west to definitely watch out for.
You talk about WaKeeney going back there, Conor. Man, I remember like when WaKeeney basketball was humming, like when Ziegler was there as the head coach. I mean, they had some really good basketball teams. So it's kind of exciting to see them kind of get back on top.
Well, and Cole, you again, I mentioned Nolan Smith, their head coach. Of course, when Lance Ziegler was the coach, Nolan Smith was his sharp shooting 3-point threat. Nolan Smith, and they'll freely admit this, he does not look like a shooting guard. He looks like a post player, but still to this day, he is one of the top 5 shooters that I've ever covered. Super great dude. I mean, again, just exudes positivity and charisma. He took over the Ellis program when they were really down, made them a winning team. The opportunity came open to go back and coach at his former, where he went to high school at. Took that this year. WaKeeney's gone through a couple just very disjointed years, and he's done an exceptional job. You mentioned Lance Ziegler. He has since moved over to the girls' side. He is actually the head girls coach at WaKeeney. They're improved this year. Last year they went through 2 of their starters, season-ending injuries, and they really struggled. This year they're much better. They've got kind of a balanced group. His daughter is one of those solid players. So yeah, Trego girls are definitely looking up. Probably going to be a 500 team this season. But again, I think they only won 5 games last year. So it's a really, really cool thing what I think is going on in WaKeeney. And Cole, you have been there. For those who do not know, one of the best gyms in
Yeah.
Kansas. They host everything. Jeremy Sampson, outstanding AD. WaKeeney is a great place to watch any sport.
Well, just the size of it. Like I remember like going to the purple and gold tournaments and just them hosting that and just the size of the gym, especially even like I mean, that was more than a decade ago because now I'm getting really old. So like I mean, even today it still seems like it ranks up there as one of the better gyms.
Yeah, they've done a solid to so many teams and people where they hosted 1A basketball for sub-state or 1A postseason, and obviously they're having Sharon Springs play Stockton or Central Plains there. And again, I know Jeremy Sampson has been on a number of top AD lists, but he is just as good as they come. And he's a friend of mine, and I've gone to him with some AD questions over the years, and he's just a super great dude. People have said, why does WaKeeney host so many things? And it's their gym. They host postseason wrestling, if not every year, certainly every other year. You mentioned the Purple and Gold. They host the MCL a lot. They host playoff tennis. They're very equidistant for so many teams. They're on 70. They understand where they are geography wise in the state, to host so many things. You're basically like an hour from everything, especially in out west, and obviously they have the facilities and the staff to meet all those needs. And again, for those who do not know, I mean, WaKeeney is as good as it gets for hosting events, and it's really cool to see them have historic success this fall, the best start in school history, second best season ever, and then obviously having such a nice season this season. And honestly, in wrestling, we haven't really talked about that.
Yeah.
They have got some standout wrestlers: Cass Smith, Aaron Sampson, who'd be Jeremy's son, several on the girls' side. They should be, I mean, probably not state contenders in 321A, but I would say a top 10 to top 12 team on both the boys and girls' side this year.
And also like just going back to that gym for WaKeeney, like I mean, just the size. Because I mean, you talk about the rest of the MCL schools. I mean, I feel like the MCL, like there's more like the cozy like gyms, like historic gyms. Like I think of like Hill City. I remember like broadcasting up in the corner from the baseline, and Phillipsburg has a stage out there. So yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a little bit different from the MCL.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, for those who don't know, they've got lower stands on one side, about maybe 10, 12 rows on one side. Then the other side, they've got it built up here, and then they've got the huge second deck. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost like probably a fair apt comparison is almost like a Kansas Wesleyan on one side, perhaps even higher up. But yeah, I mean, your ability to fit a lot of people in there. I mean, probably truly 800 to 1,000 could probably fit in there. And so, and you got the locker room space. Plainville's able to host. Their gym's a little smaller, but it's definitely newer. And yeah, I mean, to make a Chiefs comparison, the Chiefs are building a new stadium in order to host major events. WaKeeney said, 13, 14 years ago, if now longer, probably I'm dating myself now. We're going to build this new gym in order to host events because of where we are geography wise. I would say that gym would rival truly any 5A and 6A school in Kansas. And just because of the size of it, it's very, very modern. They host a lot of volleyball as well, just because you can have two courts without really any issue at all. Their locker rooms are there. And again, we're not in this season, but tennis. It's very, very hard to host postseason tennis out west. Most people do not have the court space. WaKeeney does, and they host, generally speaking, including a JV tournament, 3 tennis tournaments a year on the girls' side, and 2 or 3 on the boys' side. So again, kudos to WaKeeney.
Yeah, good one in WaKeeney. Hey, Connor, appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, certainly, sir. Thanks so much.
Conor Nicholl is Sunflower Sports Solutions here on Kansas Sports Chatter.